I used to feel so devastated. At times I thought we never make it.
I guess to wrap it up is the LD photo channel. I mean, there isn't too much. I did that video for you, Edgar. I was telling you about the skin smoothing technique that I found because, you know, my background in Photoshop is extensive, but I went to the infrastructure side. I went to IT, and Snow chose the graphic design way, and he, up to this day, teaches me nothing about Photoshop. So I had to learn.
Thank you, Snow.
Yeah, thank you, Snow. I had to learn techniques from Jerry and shit, you know?
Oh,
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
He doesn't call me nothing about
You're getting all upset and shit. Getting all upset.
Snow's been giving me dance lessons online.
That's all he do. That's all he lessons he gives. Fucking dance lessons on Facebook. I can't get my skin smooth in my goddamn pictures, motherfucker. No, but that...
Sign up for Snow online web design. $20 a session.
Lynda.com by Snow. Yeah, but that technique was pretty sound, man. I like it, and it's one of those things where, you know, the more time you have to devote to cleaning up the image, the better it comes out. There's actually another one I found for sharpening.
But do you really want to learn my methods, son? Because sometimes it can take about.
I don't have time for your meticulous methods, son. I don't.
Yo,
I asked this dude to make something. He sent me some shit with layers and fucking splices and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Just get the picture in the shit so I can explain what the fuck is going on. This dude got like 50 locked layers in Photoshop and like descriptions. I'm like, man, what the fuck?
And you don't know what he's referring to. He's referring to our thumbnails.
Yo, this shit is
It's
crazy.
all purpose. It's all purpose, bro.
Every time he said it, I just be like this. I don't know what to do. Yeah. But I'm going to do another video because I found another technique for sharpening that's actually really, really crazy. And it could save a lot of images. So that's that. I just finished shooting the AMA where dude asked about he had a Canon and he was saying in my Olympus review, I was talking up the optical image stabilization and how it helped a lot at night. So he was saying, well, he was going from his Canon to get an A7, the Sony. And, you know, that's a full frame, and that's got the Optis image stabilization. But then he said after he saw our video, he was like, now I don't know what to get. So I was kind of telling him, like, you know, you're looking at it wrong. Like, even with the Olympus and my Sony, I still have the same problems that he's having, which is getting sharp images at night. Shit's blurry, you know what I mean? So I was just walking him through how to attack that first. Because if you don't really learn how to fix that problem in your composition and how you approach photography, then you're going to forever be jumping ship or buying the next best camera that only marginally helps that problem. You know what I mean? So that was a little dope conversation. And Mac had hit me up. I guess his wife's sister was looking for a camera. So he hit me up and he sent me the link to the Sony, what is it, the A5700? I think was the model number. So that's the little guy. It's like the NEX, like the NEX I have. But I think the only difference is like either it doesn't have touchscreen like the NEX, or the display doesn't come all the way forward to the selfie mode. So it's one of those is the only difference. And I have to do a video on it because I feel like a lot of people don't get, like, camera gear isn't like your cell phone. You know what I mean? It isn't like a new computer or a tablet. Like, there's no such thing as, is it still a good camera? You know what I mean? People own cameras for years. What makes the camera or how you can take a camera to the next level is your lenses. It's glass.
Isn't that something I referred to the last time? There's a bunch of people out here. Actually, no, I did that when you and I did the Kodak thing.
Right.
That when you and I
That's
did the
you
Kodak
talking
thing.
to the dude, yeah.
A bunch of people out here being tech people, not really photographers.
Right.
Like you're so far into the numbers, and yet somebody pop up with an A330, takes better pictures than your brand new $1,000 camera,
Yeah.
you're gonna feel some kind of way. And I don't even have $1,000 glass.
That's a lot of people don't understand. We're exempt from that. I mean, that dude, he was a perfect example. He's a cool dude, and he just got into photography. So we went out shooting. Snow met up, and he had, you know, he used to take pictures on his iPhone, right? And like all of us, we go through this progression where you're like, I want to take it to the next level because I'm into the iPhone and there's things I want to do but I can't do on my phone.
Absolutely. His photos are good too.
Understandable. Yeah, his stuff is good. And you know, he invested, and I respected his investment because that's what you're supposed to do. If this is what you're going to do, go balls deep in it. But somebody should have pulled him back, because my man went out and bought a Canon 5D Mark II, right? Which is easily $2,000. Then he went out and bought the Pro Glass, the Pro 27 to the 24 to 70 f2.8, which is like another $1,500 in lens. But he's using a live view on his camera. You get what I mean? He's using his camera like a cell phone, and I'm like, it's not my thing to correct him because we all go through that. You know what I mean? We all got to take that step. My thing is, wherever the fuck he went should have been like, what are you doing? Okay, cool. Well, here's this option over here for $800. You get what I mean? And I think this is a guarded thing where I think it exists more so in photography than in consumer world. I feel like, generally speaking, people will protect you from yourself in the photography world.
Right.
Like, nah, you don't need a new camera. Just get a lens. Nah, you don't need that camera. This is fine for what you want to do. Like that type of stuff. But for whatever reason, he fell through the cracks, walking around with $3,500 worth of gear, and he, you know what I mean? And I like the dude. I think he's gonna be good. He's gonna learn. And I don't find anything wrong with, you know, there's that analogy where people go, well, I'm gonna get a car. All right, well, make sure your first car is like some bullshit. And they're like, what? Like, you guys know me. My first car was a fucking race car. You get the fuck out of here if you think I'm sliding in some bullshit. My first car got a brand new engine. They got a brand new coat of paint. If I scratch it up, I'll fix it again. You get what I mean? Like, don't tell me. So I get his thing, and I thought that was cool. But, like, for instance, he saw me with, I wasn't even shooting my Sony. I was shooting with my Olympus. So he's like, what's the difference with the mirrorless? I see a lot of people with the mirrorless, and I'm just like, my man, you're like a year away from a conversation where you could understand why people who shot with the same camera you're shooting is switching to this other thing. You're not, you ain't hit that ceiling yet. You're nowhere close to it.
Right.
So,
and at the same time, because he bought Canon, we telling, I hope he didn't take that the wrong way, but it really is that. But you know, the Canon refuses to play ball.
yeah, it's annoying.
So, and a good thing for him is, even though he spent all that money on an excellent camera and he has the hunger, and I do believe him, his upgrades is gonna be crazy in a few months. I would like to see him 3 months from now. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully by the time he's ready and he gets that mirrorless bug, that Canon will play nice for him.
Yeah.
And make it worth his while, because he just dropped a shitload of money.
But that camera is capable. Like, if you go on like Flickr or go on 500 pics and look up the fucking 5D Mark II, my God. And Jerry always said Canon has the best colors. That camera's beast. Like, that kit that he has is beast
the color
mode.
thing, but it's a beast.
Like, so here's perspective for you.
All right.
If today somebody said, okay, you can do it again. You can have your A7 or you can have that Canon. I'd take the Canon. But me personally, again, I probably wouldn't, because of one simple thing. Because of the DSLR mirror in the viewfinder versus the mirror, the viewfinder in mirrorless cameras. I can't live without that anymore. But I'm just trying to show you how dope that camera is. It'd be like Tawan. It'd be like somebody coming to Tawan and be like, yo, you can get, I don't know, you can get this new Camry or you can get a Corvette. Who the fuck isn't going to go for the Corvette? But Tawan is like 6'7". He can't fit in the Corvette. You get what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't
I
fit
have
his
to go with
needs.
What's best for me?
You got to go with what's best for you. It doesn't mean that the Corvette isn't as dope as a Camry, but, you
I have a
know.
question.
Yeah.
Do you think that his choice in camera allowed him to have that much more of a ceiling? Like you say, for me, I have the A6000. So my ceiling, his ceiling might be higher
No.
than mine.
No. He's gonna, the difference between him and you is his misfires are gonna be the same misfires you have, but when he fucking nails it, my God, his shit's gonna look amazing. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't go for it has nothing to do with his ability to learn. Is it gonna be better than yours, or is he gonna reach the ceiling any faster? It's just that when he gets an image the way he wants it, it's gonna be fucking amazing because he's got good glass and he's got a fucking hell of a sensor in that camera. So, you know, that's totally fine, right? That's a valid thing. That's a valid thing.
That's the crazy thing with the cameras, man. Like, you have all this hardware in there capable of doing all these, giving you all these nice shots, but you got to learn to control the thing.
Dude,
You know,
True.
it's
You
still a
gotta
struggle.
Like I look at my Instagram, like, you know, 5 months ago, and when I put on when I study and when I fucking, like, I pay attention, I look at a lot of remote shots, Brian's, like, and then Jerry's got some freaking sick photography.
Yeah.
And, like, the more I go shooting, I can just see the improvement in the shots. Like, I want to go back and shoot some of the things I did before.
Yeah.
Now, you know, the same
'Cause you do it better
angles and
now.
stuff, because I can, you know, I'm better at it. But so yeah, the hardware, the lenses, you know, that's for sure is like super important.
It does
But, like,
count. It does count.
Yeah, and the thing I'm doing though is, like, right now, really the only reason why I bought the A6000 was for recording for YouTube. I never thought I was gonna, like, all right, let me go shoot. Let me
Yeah.
get into this photography thing. But once I started messing with it, I couldn't let it go.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Tawan got the same problem. There's no way you can
Yeah.
look at that camera and just not want to
Yeah.
want to grab it and
well,
take a picture of
when
something.
I went to that on Saturday. I was a man. I just want to go shoot. I just want to go photograph something. You know, I can put it out there. So I just took off. and,
Yo,
like,
Edgar's in the
ended up, like,
fucking woods with coyotes. Like, real talk.
I went to over by the airport in the middle of nowhere. I took this dirt road. I was driving with my lights off because I didn't know it was by the airstrip, so I could see security everywhere. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, I turned the lights off. I drove in that dirt road. Got out. I got out of the car. I was like looking around. I was like, all right, let me get this tripod. I mounted everything. I had my freaking iPhone with the flashlight. I was like, you know, but it forced me to, like, wasn't it you, Ramon, that said Jerry James said sometimes to get the shot you gotta be an asshole.
You gotta be an asshole.
Sometimes to get the shot you gotta break the law. And that's what I was doing.
I mean, what they gonna do? They gonna come over there like, man, what the fuck are you doing? By that time, you already got the shot. You be like, I'm sorry. You hop in your car and get the fuck out of there. You know?
Yeah, but I was out there and I could hear the coyotes. They're probably like 50 yards from me. I couldn't see them, but I'm sure they could see me.
Nah, I ain't with that.
Definitely smell you. 'Cause
Yeah.
they will come for you.
I ain't with that type of shit. Homeless people, as far as I go, I can't do that now. But you know, the struggle never changes, right? Like, for instance, we make fun of Jerry fucking with the same lighthouse, and he's in Michigan. I guess what the fuck else are you gonna shoot in Michigan?
Oh, there's more you can shoot. You got macro photographers doing stuff, man.
Well, whatever. I mean, no, Jerry does a lot of shit.
Uncle RZA shoots Johnny Pumps. So
What's a Johnny
and,
Pump?
and you know what? That's why I started experimenting with macro, because where I live, there's no buildings, like.
you need to get into to skies.
That's
Yeah,
you ain't see that picture he posted on Instagram today?
That's what I'm
I
trying to
seen
get
that one.
into.
You know,
Yeah.
That shit's monsters.
That's what I'm trying to get into, because, you know, like, it forces me to look at other things. besides like the obvious, you know, like that one building that I posted a picture of. That's like the best looking building here. It's like old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as buildings, that's like the best
I will-
architecture. You know what I mean?
I will say
that-
you got to keep at it though, because probably like once a month I always ended up downtown Brooklyn. You know that shot where you see like the Brooklyn Bridge and the Freedom Tower. I went down there like at this point it's got to be 8 different times, and I would try different shit, different things. It got to the point where the last time I went there, the images that I got from that shit blew my mind. I got home and I couldn't believe that was my image. I was like, what the fuck? Like, you know, you ever farted and then you smell it, you start looking around, you like,
Yeah, what's that, man? What's that?
yeah. I load the picture up in Lightroom, but I'm like, yo, somebody get, yo, come look at this. Like, I couldn't believe those were my shots. And, you know, that's where I was at. And then the other day I went out with John, and I'm telling John about shooting at F8 for street photography, yada, yada, yada. And I ain't do none of that fucking night because I was lazy. It was cold. I left the camera on auto. Don't let anybody tell you you're not a real photographer if you use auto mode. Fuck you. It's cold. I'm using auto mode. I just want to shot them out. I get home. My pictures were trash. I was so upset. And I was upset not because the pictures were trash, because I saved them in Photoshop, right? I was upset because I fucking knew better. So there's always the struggle. You may know better, but you may be lazy. You may forget something. You may be trying something one time, and then you're like, man, why did I even do that dumb shit when I know better? It's still a struggle. And I got experience on me. You know what I mean? You can shoot the same thing every day and still be like, man, why is it coming out like this? You know, you can have an off day. So that whole learning the camera settings, man, that's a lifelong thing. Lifelong.
Yeah. I almost gave up when I first started. I was like, for one, I almost gave up with photo editing. I was like, man, fuck that.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever happened to like me just using my phone and using the sliders and shit to edit photos? You know, I was like, man, fuck. Like I ended up purchasing that PT photo editor. I tried it for like a week. I didn't even know what the hell I was doing.
Yeah.
So I stopped using it for like 2 months straight. I was like, man, fuck that. I ain't using that. I'm not doing the editing anymore. But I was like, nah. Once I started to figure it out, it's like, when I got that picture, I opened up the raw file on Affinity because that's what I'm using now. I popped it and I was like, what? Damn, that picture. That
picture's dope, bro.
You know what I mean? I was like, I got lucky on that.
I mean, you ain't get lucky. You put in the work. You put in the work.
Yeah.
What did you shoot that picture at, by the way?
Fuck that. You got lucky. You got lucky.
Let me bring it up. I'm gonna give you the right stuff. I know I did a 30-second exposure because I didn't have I ended up picking up a remote today. I bought an AR remote for my camera today.
Let me see if I can pull it up for the people.
It'll be here
remote?
tomorrow. It'll be here tomorrow.
I got like 2 remotes.
What
I need one.
Yeah, I need one of them shits my damn self.
By the way, shout out to Amazon Prime. I overnighted that for total price $14. Amazon.
I would have waited another day.
It's because I want to go shooting tomorrow. I was like, man, I want to go shooting tomorrow.
I already pay Amazon. Yeah, you pay y'all good.
I shot it at, I actually shot that shot f2.8, 30 ISO 100 at 30-second exposure.
All right, here's what we gonna do. Next weekend, whenever you're free, take your ass right back out there. But this time, shoot it at f12.
All right.
Anywhere from f12 to f16. And do that trick I taught you where you put the camera on auto, put your manual on focus, so you can focus in on the sky, then switch it back to manual, leave the focus where it's at, make sure your ISO is the lowest it can be, make sure your f-stop is on something like S12, f15, or f16, somewhere around there, and then do your 30-second exposure. You will see the difference. Actually, there's math involved in this, right? So this is where your life starts to get complex. remember the Earth is moving. I know
Yeah.
Donald Trump doesn't believe the Earth is round or it's moving, but it's moving. And there's math. You know the star trails?
Yeah.
There's mathematics that you need to do in order to not have the stars start to trail.
Yeah.
It's something to do with the focal. Don't fucking ask me. Get your ass on YouTube and figure it out. But it's something to do with your f-stop and the focal length and the how long you leave the shutter open. So at that f16, you may only be able to leave it open for like 20 seconds. But you'll be able to tell, right? Because when you do the first shot and you're done, you'll see, okay, the stars are crazy sharp. This is wild. Or you may see, okay, I'm getting some trails. And you know which direction you may want more trails. If you want more trails, you know what to do. Put that fucking shutter speed on bulb. You got to get the little thing and just leave
Yeah,
it
I finally
open.
got that.
Yeah, there you go. Or if it's trailing, you don't want it to trail, you can bring down the f-stop maybe from f16 to like f14 a little bit. But I think f11, anywhere from like f11 to f18 will get you a nice, like that image will be like so much more defined. You'll see so much more stars in that image.
Yeah, I think on the first shot I gave you, that was a different shot that I took. That's the one I just posted today.
Yeah.
But the one with the stars, I did it at like F11. I think.
Oh, okay, good. Okay.
F11, but yeah, I think the higher the f-stop, I think it'll give me a sharper image, at night.
Well,
When I do a long exposure.
the higher the f-stop, the idea is the more in focus everything is.
Yeah.
So, for instance, that's why I shoot at f8 for street photography, because there's this thing that the sharpest part of your lens is f8. So you'll get a good deal of detail from...
What's your ISO when you do f8?
Oh, I put in an auto ISO. So auto ISO is... I was telling Snow this one time. Auto ISO is one of those things where I don't know how people existed without it. The thing about ISO is, especially on the Sonys and even on my Olympus, ISO is not easy to get to. It's a button you gotta push, right?
Push and then
push in. Now, something like the Fujis, they have an ISO dial. So if you're at 800,
Nice.
you click it once, oh, now you're at 1,000. Another click, you're at 12. So that's that tactical feedback why people like Fujis. Because you could just literally change your ISO without even leaving the viewfinder. But for us, it's different. I don't have time to fuck with ISO, because if it's a bright sunny day and you're in the shade, shit, now I gotta go in the goddamn menus and I gotta turn my ISO up. And then the minute you leave the shade, now you gotta go back in the menu and turn the ISO down. So auto ISO, what it does, it allows you to set a range. You say, okay, camera, you control the ISO, but I'll tell you the lowest you can go and the highest you can go. So my auto ISO on my A7 is usually 100 is the lowest it can go. And I think 3200 is the highest it can go. And 3200 is a noisy image, but I can fix the noise. So that range, usually I never have to worry about messing with ISO on manual. Or even in like aperture priority or shutter priority. I just don't want to play with ISO. Like, I don't have time to figure that out. So
Yeah, that's one thing I need to work on. I use the camera manual all the time.
yeah.
All the time.
Which is fine.
I think the way I do it is I up my ISO to like 800 all the time. But what I do is I just control the shutter speed. So if I want to like bring down the exposure, I just freaking dial up the
So
the shutter speed.
the technical thing behind that is there's something called a native ISO. Each camera has a native ISO. And that's technically the ISO setting where there's guaranteed to be no noise in your image. It's perfect. I think the native ISO is 200 on the A6000. Just Google it. What's the native ISO for the 6000? That's where you want to start. So whatever image you're trying to take, try to start with 200. If you could take it with 200 ISO, it'll be perfect with no noise.
What if you're using a 1.8 f-stop?
Nah, it'll be even better because 1.8 allows you to let in more light, which means you can keep your ISO down. So the ISO is about sensitivity to light. The reason you even toggle the ISO is to allow the sensor to be more sensitive to light and allow more light to come in. But if you got a fast lens, then you can open up your lens and let in more light and allow you to keep the ISO down. But then again, you know, at 1.8, you're isolating subjects. Is that what you want to do?
Right.
Do you want all that bokeh? You know what I mean? So you may want an entire street shot. Well, you can't use 1.8. Now you got to go to like a f8 or something like that. So you have to, now you can't stay at that 200 ISO level. You got to go up maybe to 800, maybe to 1200 to allow the balance. One of the things you guys should really pay attention for is on your camera, there's a light meter.
Yeah.
I think it's MM for the Sonys. It'll say like -1, -2, or +1, +2. Minus tells you when you're underexposed, meaning there's not enough light in this shot. And +2 says it's overexposed. You're blowing out your highlights. Too much light. When you're playing with your exposure triangle, that light meter is what's going to guide you to where you want to be. But it's not the end all be all, right? It could be an artistic decision. You may want the shot dark on purpose. Then there's things like the A7. The A7 Mark II has this uncanny ability to recover shadows in post. So when I take the raw shot, something that's like a really dark picture, if I pull the shadows all the way up, that picture is completely fine. Like that type of shit like blows my mind when it comes to like full frame cameras and the Sonys and shit. So I mean, the rabbit hole gets so goddamn deep. It's annoying. I don't think we were supposed to go this deep into photography.
You know the crazy thing about that too. You were talking yesterday about stacking. I
Yeah,
actually did it.
bracketing. Stacking is different.
Yes, you know where you could bring all the images together.
Yeah.
Like you know, it helps you get less noise and all that craziness.
So I'll tell you the difference, a quick difference between stacking and bracketing. Bracketing is how HDR with high dynamic range is really done. Not you know, you put it you open your phone and you go to Snapseed or something and you HDR it and you see like the details are really exaggerated, the colors are really saturated, and it looks like a fucking a unicorn threw up over a pack of Skittles. It just looks like shit. That's not true HDR. HDR is done by bracketing, where you take a perfectly exposed image, then you take an overexposed image, and then you take an underexposed image. So what that does, when you merge those three images, you have 3 times more data. So in the perfectly exposed image, there may be some shadows. There may be some shadows that's kind of dark and you don't see the detail. Well, the image that was really overexposed fills in the data for those shadows. And then there's parts like where the sunlight is coming in and it's really bright and you can't see like a part of the building. Well, then the part of that building that from the underexposed image gives the data back there, so it's much evenly lit. That's bracketing. Stacking is focus stacking is what they call it, is a whole nother ball game. That shit is crazy. So if you go, let's say, Tawan, you picture the downtown shot with the bridge. You got the bridge, you got the Freedom Tower and the buildings. You wouldn't shoot that at 1.8.
Right.
Right?
I gotta go high.
You gotta go high. You would go at something like a f12 or f16. No matter how high you go, there's always going to be compression. Because something's in the foreground, something's in the background. There's always going to be a depth of field. What focus stacking allows you to do is you set up your shot. You go into manual focus and you focus your camera to infinity, which means it gets the background. It gets all the buildings first. You take that image. You don't change anything on your camera. You change your focus just a little bit and you take that image. You change it just a little more. And each picture, you're bringing the focus back and back and back and back. Then you put that shit in Photoshop and merge all of those images together. Everything is tack sharp. The piece of grass in front of you to Jesus on the cloud looking at you. Everything is in focus. That takes so much time.
Yeah.
And this is the scumbag tricks that these photographers. You ever go somewhere and see somebody's picture and you're just like, how the fuck did they do that?
All post-processing.
All post-processing. It's crazy. It's cool stuff though. It pays off when you take the time to learn it. Yeah, we got to cut this short. God damn it. It's 1 o'clock.
Sure.
It's 1 o'clock. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed the Fuck Sony section. I'm going to give the video 2 thumbs up for that section alone. You know, but before we go,
It's okay to hate, baby.
it's okay to hate. Before we go, Edgar, any last words?
Make sure the credit card clear.
Any last words, Mr. Meza?
No, man.
Oh, you
Well,
lucky.
yeah,
It's like 9 o'clock your time.
Huh?
What time is it over there by you?
UFC, best sport in the business.
Better
MMA.
than boxing.
Yeah.
What time is it where you at, Edgar?
It's gonna be midnight.
Wait, what? I thought you were like 3 hours.
No, he middle.
In the middle, yeah.
So you're only 1 hour behind us. Okay.
Yeah, 1 hour. Yep.
Okay. All right. Tawan, any last words?
Stay tuned for more kicks. I'm pushing everything out. Don't forget Kickstarter, KIIX.
We looking for some sponsors, man. We looking for some sponsors. You want to shout? You sponsor the video. You send the goddamn shoes. We'll shout you out all day long.
No doubt. No doubt.
Okay. Mr. Nasty.
Yeah, a couple things. Support your local artists. Support your local creators. Support your local cats.
Catch Deli or Cats?
Cats. Support those people who are close to you, who's looking for support. You never know. They might be just one share away from feeling like they're not going to quit. It's very important. You like our content, I'm pretty sure you might like their content. Introduce them to us. We're always looking for some exciting people as well. Support video games that you don't play by telling other people about them. And support Sony. I mean, look, they out here killing. These guys all up here own Sony glass. You know, they sit here saying fuck Sony. You know, it's only right. It's
80
the
million
right way
units
to
sold.
It's the right way to fanboy. Support Sony.
I almost thought you said support your local GameStop. I almost hung up the Skype call on you.
Other than that, I'm good, man. Oh, there is one thing. I want to give a special shout out to these 3 guys. They've been doing amazing work on these channels. Ramon, Edgar, and Tawan, you know, hats off to you guys with the kicks, the accessories, and everything else in between. It's our lifestyle. Sorry that we had to separate the channels, but Google really penalized us. And of course, you can always come see me on the gaming side. IGC Ignorant Gamers. I'm out.
Yep. My name is Ramon. I'm going to sleep, man. Holla at y'all. Peace.
Peace.
If I had to describe Lifestyles Defined, I would say it is a dream come true to have a platform where we can talk about the things that we love and we can share with people who also love the things we love the way we love, and just have conversations that matter and go back and forth and grow as a community. It's been a pleasure. It's been a dream, and I just want to thank everyone that's involved for rocking out with us.